Hey guys, it's Chelsea. I'm so happy to be filming and uploading this for you guys. I know it's been a while since I've uploaded a video. Just know that I've been thinking, I haven't forgotten about this channel. I think about it every day, different ideas and things I want to do. It's just been very hard with my schedule right now of a full-time job and trying to work, and not trying, but working out every other day, trying to make time for friends and family and Josh and personal things going on. But I am so dedicated to this channel. I just kind of lost sight of it for a minute because just so much is going on. But I love making YouTube videos. I love talking to you guys. And that's kind of my goal in the new year, is to just get better and more focused and make doing YouTube at least like a weekly thing, at least putting a video up once a week. And yeah. So I hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving and peep the tree. I got this for $3 at Target. It's the holiday season now. We're in December. So this, I feel like, is a perfect time for me to make a video like this, because this time of year is obviously when there's so much spending going on, online, in person, whatever, for, gifts for the holidays and things like that. And there's so many good deals that, people are buying stuff for themselves because it's such good deals. It doesn't necessarily have to be gifts. But yeah, this is when all the sales are, and this is when it's really, really hard, if you're bad with money, to not be the worst with your money. And I am making this video just as kind of advice, tips and everything. If I keep looking, I'm looking at my notes for this video that I made. And I, of all people, know about being bad with money. It's something, that I feel like we all kind of go through, and that transition from being, high school into college. Okay, you have to start kind of being better with your money, and then you're in the real world with your job and your bills, and oh my God, how does this all work? So yeah, my advice is mainly for kind of the younger generation. I think if you're older and you have dependents and house payments and some very serious bills and God, I cannot think of this word. But basically obligations, that's what it is, obligations. When you have dependents and more obligations, it's, advice like this isn't really going to help you. It's important for you to go seek professional financial help, and, whether that's someone at a bank or that can get you a loan to help get you off your feet, or whatever the situation is. This is more kind of lighthearted, being a little bit better with your money advice. But if you do have some serious financial debt and problems, please seek professional help. I'm not a professional. This is more just for the younger generation. I'm 21. I've been working since I was 17. And ever since I got my first paycheck, I've had issues with money and trying to limit myself and draining my bank account and running up a credit card and just being so indulgent and not knowing how to limit myself. And it's something I've had to learn over the years. And now that I have a full-time job and a few bills, I still live at home and everything, and my car is a paid off car. So I definitely don't have any major bills, but I do pay for, my student loan repayment, my gym membership, all my food, all my gas and things. So yeah. Let's get into the video. If you want to learn how to be a little tips and tricks for being a little bit better with your money, then keep on watching. So my rule number one, and this is something that I definitely had to learn over time, and I didn't really realize this was a big culprit of why I was so bad with my money, was that when I would get paid, I would look at my bank account and be like, okay, this is how much I have to spend for a week or 2 weeks, however often you get paid. For me, back then, it was 2 weeks. Right now, I get paid every week. But majority of my working career, I've always been paid 2 weeks. That's pretty normal. So I would look at it as, okay, I just got $300. I have $300 to spend the next 2 weeks, So yeah, that is a problem, and you definitely just have to look at your bank account like, okay, I just got paid, but let's not be crazy, because it's very easy to be like, oh, I got paid, so let me do this and let me do that, and maybe I won't bring my lunch, I'll eat out, or whatever it is. And you can't look at your bank account like that. So basically, my biggest advice is, when you look at your bank account and you're getting paid, right, set a threshold for yourself for when you should stop spending money. Because I do agree, like, you have to spend money. it's impossible obviously not to spend money. So you're gonna have to do it, but it's what you spend it on and it's how much you're spending that really counts. So let's say, you know, you get paid $600 every 2 weeks, okay? So for me, my threshold would be 50%. So I would get $600 in my bank account and, you know, spend it on whatever. 2 weeks is quite a, you know, it's quite a while of needing to spend some money on gas and different things and food and whatnot. And maybe you want to buy yourself a little perfume or something. So look at it as your threshold being $300. So once you start getting close to that, maybe like 375 or something, you say, okay, it's time to hold off. Like no more eating out, or whatever your situation is, whatever you find yourself spending the most money on. And that's another one of my tips along the way. And just set a threshold for yourself and just be very conscious in your mind to not look at your bank account and be like, okay, this is how much I have to spend. You look at it and say, okay, you know, I have some money now, but that doesn't mean I need to go out there and blow it. It doesn't mean I need to spend any more money than I would if I only had $100 in my bank account. You know what I mean? So yeah, tip number one, look at your bank account. Obviously you have to, but don't look at it as how much you have to spend. Look at it in the fact that, okay, you have some money, but don't spend it. So, okay, tip number two is basically just getting yourself together for, you know, having a savings. So saving is super important. It's come in handy quite a few times in my life. One time I took my iPhone on a boat ride with Josh and his family, and a really weird storm just rolled in right in the middle of it, and my phone got water damage and it completely broke the iPhone. So I went to Apple and I had to pay for a whole new phone because that was my only option. I didn't have insurance. I wasn't due for an upgrade. That was my option. Either pay for a whole new phone or you don't have a phone. So I paid for a whole new iPhone out of my pocket. And if it wasn't for my savings, I wouldn't have had that money at all. I would have literally, I wouldn't have known what to do. So you always have to have money for emergencies. And I think what a lot of people get discouraged is you know, I have friends and people like this in my life that will say, oh, you know, it's only $8 here, $20 here, whether it's spending money on fast food or, you know, little going out expenses or whatever. But at the end of the day, you have to look at it as, okay, $8 of saving here, $20 of saving here. At the end of the day, you could get a very nice little savings account set up for yourself. And you don't need to feel pressured that, okay, you have to put half of your paycheck away, because that's not realistic. Putting half of your paycheck away is really going to set yourself up for failure, because in a couple days or a week or, you know, all of a sudden you don't have any money and you have to dig back into the savings account. And the goal is for it to go there and stay there and only come out for emergencies. So there was literally a point when I was working part-time, only getting like 10 to 15 hours a week when I was in high school. And even then, even though I was still pretty bad with money, because I would literally blow all my paycheck until I had, you know, $20 left to roll over to the, you know, the next paycheck, I still would save at least 10, 20, 50, 100, whatever it is. You need to look at, you know, how much you're getting paid and how often you're getting paid, and just be realistic and put it away as soon as you get paid. You guys, the day I get paid, I go into my bank and I put $100 away into my savings account. Now, right now, because of Christmas, it's not really something I can do. It's too much for me to save and, you know, try and get a few nice gifts for people in my life. So I'm not really saving right now. But I typically put away about $100 a week. But if you're obviously only making $100 a week, and you know, this video, like I said, is for younger people and, you know, people with, you know, not a bunch of dependents and obligations and a house payment and you know, a mortgage and craziness. This is just for, you know, maybe the younger generation that hasn't fully put themselves out into the world yet, that just save whatever you can and be realistic about it. And as soon as you get paid, literally the day, the hour, the minute, put a little bit away into your savings, and that way it's there for an emergency, or to be there for whenever you're ready to take the next big step as far as getting a car, getting an apartment, whatever it is. So yeah, something is better than nothing. Number three is it's important to analyze what you're spending the most of your money on. For me, it is food. I love eating out. I love Chipotle, and you know, I don't like going to fancy, really expensive restaurants. I mean, who Who does? You know, I just like Chipotle, you know, McDonald's maybe once a week, Taco Bell, extremely cheap. And so for me, it feels like I'm not spending a lot of money because I'm eating at these like budget places. But at the end of the day, I am, because it's adding up throughout, you know, the week. And I think one time my bank has like a little part of an app where you can kind of look at a pie chart of what you're spending your money on, and literally it was like food. Like the whole pie chart was food, and I had literally spent like 300, it told me in a month I'd spent like $500. It was like $300 or $500, something ridiculous, on food in the past 30 days. Isn't that insane? So you have to realize what you're spending your money on. Is it the fact that, you know, your friends are constantly calling you to, you know, go to restaurants and stuff, or to go out, and so you're spending money on drinks and outfits and things like that? Is it, you know, like me, food? Is it the fact that you can't hold yourself back? You can't just go like hang out at a mall? You know, is it shopping? What is it? Is it other people? You can't hold yourself back from, you know, if someone needs $20, giving them $20 or something. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? You know, spending too much of your money on other people and not yourself. Analyze what the situation is. So for me, I realized it was food. And I actually realized this during Hurricane Irma, because when that all happened, yeah, we were getting supplies and stuff, but my parents were paying for all of it. They gave like me and Josh money, hey, go get supplies or whatever. So I wasn't spending any money. I wasn't spending money on gas because there was really no gas, and I just decided to ride with my dad to work the couple days before it happened. And then, you know, wasn't spending money on food or anything, just kind of preparing for the hurricane. And I realized, you know, because I got paid like the week after, how much money I had because I didn't spend it. And I was like, whoa, like I am truly spending so much money on food and stupid little things like that. It's ridiculous. So you have to analyze what you're spending your money on and then figure out how to limit it. So for me, I've kind of gotten off this bandwagon, but for me, I limited myself to eating Chipotle only once a week, and you know, starting to bring my lunch to work, because I was spending a lot of money, you know, getting food delivered at work. So now I pretty much bring my food to work every day. I limit myself to Chipotle only once a week, and, you know, going out to Olive Garden or somewhere maybe a little more expensive at the most once a week. So although I am still spending money, I am still indulging, I am not spending nowhere near as much money. You know, it was literally like Olive Garden this night, Chipotle this night, Taco Bell this night. Okay, I need some gas. Okay, now we're going here. So now I've kind of learned, okay, food is my thing. You know, I can be in a store and maybe pick something up and be like, oh, I want it, but I can have the strength to put it back. When it comes to food, if I'm hungry and I'm out, I will most likely spend money on it in Starbucks and stupid stuff like that. So just kind of limiting yourself. And also, like I said earlier, setting a threshold for your bank account is so helpful. Like you have no idea. Just setting that threshold, okay, when it starts to get here, stop. You know, only spend money on the absolute necessities. At this point, you cannot go to TJ Maxx. You cannot go out to eat. You cannot go out with your friends, you know? So yeah, that was tip number 3. Tip number 4 is to definitely let the people around you know that you are trying to budget and you're trying to save some money, whether it's save money for something, whether it's just be better with money in general. Let the people around you know. Have some people to hold you accountable, whether that be family or friends, because it's definitely helpful. You know, if they're good friends, good family, they'll be there for you. And if there's, you know, it shouldn't be so they would pay for something for you so you can save money. It's more in the sense that they'll hold you accountable. Just let other people in your life know so they can help hold you accountable. And, you know, if you're maybe just out walking the mall with your friends and you see a bag, they can like help talk you down, like, girl, you don't need that bag, like it's fine. I think the point in my life where I realized that spending money was a huge problem was when I was at this store called Steinmart. It's not very popular. I'm not exactly sure where they are, but there's one here, and they're kind of like TJ Maxx and stuff where they have name brands pretty well discounted and whatnot. And they had a Michael Kors bag, and I just fell in love with the bag. I wanted it, but I did not have nowhere near that money at the moment. So I literally opened a store credit card, and you know, they always have a deal with the store credit cards. Ooh, additional 10% off if you open one today. Opened a store credit card so I could get the purse. And then within a few days, I realized, because at that point I was only working part-time, barely making like $200 to $300 every 2 weeks because of my school schedule and stuff. So yeah, I had to return the bag because there was no way I'd be able to pay it off. And that was a huge wake-up call for me, because it was like, oh my god, like I freaking opened a store credit card, took this bag home and put all my stuff in it, and then realized I couldn't afford it. And it was just more like embarrassing, and I felt bad. Hopefully, I think they still sold the bag and everything. It wasn't dirty, but you know, that's not what I want it to be. I want to have things and cherish the things that I buy, and know that I'm not struggling to afford the different things that I have. And being comfortable with your money is a really good feeling, because there's not that sense of pressure and anxiety in different social situations. If someone's like, oh, you know, let's go here, and you're sitting there like, oh my god, I literally don't have the money for the Uber, don't have the money for the drinks, and you feel this pressure to go anyway. It's very nice to just be like, you know what, yeah, I'm gonna treat myself, I'm gonna go out, because you're stable with your money, you know your limits, and you know what to do. So the last thing I want to talk about is credit cards, kind of alluring from that story there. Credit cards are important. As it's been shown, you know, it's very hard to be good with your money if you're constantly just living off the money that you're given. Credit cards are important, but you just have to know how to use them right. I really wish that in high school and stuff there was a class. I know it used to be this way, but it's definitely not anymore. I think, you know, in Florida they make you take an economics class as a senior, but they really don't touch any of, you know, how to write a check, credit cards, you know, investing in the stock exchange, things that I think are really important. And there's not necessarily a place to go that tells you, hey, this is exactly how all these, you know, very important money things work. But anyway, so credit cards, as hopefully a lot of you know, but maybe you don't, they're important and great to have, but with credit cards, you can't spend them as if you don't have the money. You have to spend them as if you're going to get the money, but you don't have it that exact moment you need it. So with credit cards, you know, I opened my first one not too long ago, maybe like a year over, maybe like 2 years ago or a year and a half ago, something like that. I haven't had it for as long as I've had my debit card. And I pretty much use it on, you know, more of the big purchases that I can make payments on, but I do have the money to make the payments. It's not like ridiculous, but I don't have that money in that very same moment to just put it on my debit card and be done with it, you know? So I use it a lot this time of year with like gifts and things like that, and it's cool because there are obviously a credit limit. My limit is $600. I really think it should be upped though, because I've been super good. Like, I have a great credit score and I always pay my bill and stuff. So I would think by now they would have upped the limit, but anyway. So limit's $600, and it's great because it gives me a limit on how much I can spend on people for Christmas. I can't spend more than $600 literally. So, you know, it's a good and a bad thing. Obviously, if your limit's like, you know, or a limitless card, that's dangerous. But anyway, so yeah, with credit cards, they're important to have. Just know that pretty much whatever you're putting on them, you should be able, it's best if you're able to pay them off within a month, and that way you don't risk your interest rate or anything like that going up. Of course, you can always pay the minimum, but I have heard some stories where even just paying the minimum does make your interest rate go up and things like that, and you definitely don't want to affect your credit score. So pretty much my rule is anything that I put on my credit card, I'm able to pay off within a month. So yeah, I'm running out of battery, so I gotta end this, but I appreciate you guys for watching this video. I hope you have a great holiday season. I will be making another video soon, and I'll see you next time here on Life of Chelsea. Bye bye.